Hey boos, in this video, I give commentary based on my opinion. Nothing is to be taken as factual. We are just here to have conversation. We don't expose and we don't sip tea on this channel. I'm giving you real talk straight, no chaser. Let's see if you can handle it.
Cause I'm a boss. I haven't done anything for you to be proud of.
Of course you have. You are marrying a man who can support you.
Good evening. So I was reading the comments before I got started. I had to read the comments before I got started. Why am I always getting into it with the witches that be into the dark stuff? It's always the witches that are into dark magic. Why am I always finding myself into it with the witches that be into the dark stuff? I just don't understand it. Okay, well, we're gonna go ahead and get into today's video. Now, before we get into today's video, just some disclaimers. I think everyone involved in this situation is weird. I'm just being honest. Also, secondly, I told y'all that everyone involved in this situation is weird. And the only ones that I'm truly looking out for, and I really want to get to the bottom of it because I was disturbed. My spirit was disturbed when I came across the I Married a Monster video. So I'm just here for the kids at this point. The adults in the situation are all weird to me. We can start with the uncle and how he was out here trying to get younger women, and it was alleged that his prior girlfriend, before Paloma, Isis, aka Isis, which I'm learning that Isis is her witch name. I had no idea. Anyway, let me stay focused. But the uncle was out here, and his previous girlfriend prior to Isis was a 19-year-old. That's weird to me. We saw the profile of the uncle. We saw how he was out here. I think the age range was from, I think he had it as low as 18 to 40 or something like that. The niece don't never want to talk about that. Then the niece, she seems to know a lot, but it doesn't seem like she's done much outside of speaking to us online. She did mention CPS cases. I can't see them. She mentioned that there was a case out there. I couldn't find that information, but I was able to find the other details that she disclosed in her original video where she posted it to TikTok. So for that, I was like, okay, your side of the story is aligning with what's out there based off of what we can publicly see. But I don't like how the niece, whenever she tells the uncle's side of the story in defense, the thing that I have an issue with when it comes to her is that she is trying to paint his character, and we don't know this man. Just tell us his side of the situation without trying to paint his character to us, because we don't know him. So that's going to come across as manipulative, because you're not just telling the truth of what is going on, you're also trying to persuade in who this man is and how great of a man he is, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But it's always going to be a red flag to the public that he was out here dating much younger women, and that says a lot about the type of man that he is. So that's my issue with the niece. And then y'all already know my issue with Isis, aka Paloma. So there was a lot of manipulative things that happened in the interview that she did with Hardly Initiated. But the number one thing that stuck out to me, outside of the puppy dog eyes and the excessive crying on cue and everything like that, and it was clear that, you know, she needing y'all to cut that check because she doesn't want to work. She doesn't want to go out and get it for herself. So my issue, but the main issue with Isis, that when it came to that Hardly Initiated video, was fight the flesh bracelets. She said that her son needed that. And so, you know, I just think that that's weird. You got 5 kids, but your son, and we all know what son she was referring to, needed that fight the flesh bracelet. So that's where we left off. Let's go ahead and get into it. let me pull up this interview that she did. The niece did another interview in this tell-all interview with another YouTuber. Let me make sure I give him a shout out because y'all know how I am. You know, if a YouTuber gonna put in that work, I gotta give the props to them. So the name of this YouTuber or YouTube channel is called 3 Green. No, 3 Green. Okay. I'm not sure what that means, but he did an interview with the niece, and he titled the video "The New Trophy Wife Exposed as the Real Monster" in this interview. So let's go ahead and get into what was said. Now, I'm gonna be honest, I'm gonna be looking for inconsistencies because inconsistencies is how we find the truth. Okay, so I'm looking for inconsistencies. If you don't remember, let's go back to what the niece put out here, the meats and the potatoes of what she put out here originally, and then we'll see if there are any inconsistencies when it comes to her side of the story. Because like I said, at this point, we don't know these people. I mean, they could be playing us all.
You know, this cannot be true. This can't be, you know, something that a woman would allow, which it's not. It's not something that a woman would allow. I am a victim of sexual, or whatever you want to call it. And I don't appreciate one bit of the accusations being put out there, especially not just because they're fake, not just because that they're out there just for clout, but because of the fact that this involves a family member of mine who I care about dearly. Multiple family members, if you want to put that out there, because the kids are my family too. The boys are somebody else's. The girls and the last baby are a part of my family. And if they're being harmed in any kind of way, I definitely would want to stand up for them, for sure. But her son is the one that the baby first initially said that was touching her. My grandmother was changing the baby one day, and she seen that it was red down there, and she said that her brother did it. Now, when they went to court, the court did not believe what she was saying because Paloma had already ISIS had already put out a case against my uncle because my uncle was furious when he found out that her oldest son was touching the girls. So he went out and tried to, seek help to figure out what he should do about getting her son away from the girls so that they would no longer have to go through this. But as soon as he did that, ISIS went and took papers out on him claiming that he did it because she didn't want her son to go down for it. On top of all of this, she's sitting over here acting like she's the best parent in the world when if y'all go look for yourself, y'all will see that she has a child abuse case of her own. Her youngest son she tried to put it on my uncle that he abused her youngest son, which loves my uncle to death. But the day that her and her ex tried to put out there that my uncle had abused her son, he wasn't in the state. He wasn't nowhere near. So once they went to the hospital and they took the little boy to the hospital, the one thing that they didn't do this time is the social workers pulled him aside and started asking him questions and asked him, who hurt you? Come to find out, the little boy told and said that it was her. Not only that, her oldest son has sent my uncle threatening messages. He has rubbed poop on the walls at multiple family members' house, including theirs. He has pushed his younger brother down the stairs to the point where he had a concussion, and she didn't want to take him to the hospital because she didn't want them to know that she had, a son that had been abusing all her other kids.
And the reason, listen, now like I said the first time, and people was attacking me, I said her side of the story makes more sense. And it's because if you go out there and you look outside of this CPS abuse case, I can't see that. But I did see where her second child's father tried to fight for custody. And I'm assuming it's because of these incidences that the niece is talking about. And I don't see, it's very rare to see a man fight for his child and go to court and go through the whole process. So it just, like I said, it's more believable. Like her story makes more sense to me. Okay. Even then and now, like it just makes more sense. Because what I couldn't get with when it came to Paloma's original story was that she said that she took the girls to the hospital. She was escorted to the hospital by the police, but there's no open criminal case, which there needs to be an open criminal case in order for there to be an investigation, in order for this man that she's accusing, her ex-husband, in order for him to be prosecuted any type of way. But he hasn't been charged with anything. So we're just all sitting around like sitting ducks trying to figure out, well, what's tea? Because you got us all emotionally invested in the situation, you know? So all right. So I wanted to give you a backstory because I just wanted a little refresher before we get into the interview. Let me have her cook a little bit more, and then I'm going to switch over to the recent interview that she did.
And then not only that, he hasn't just touched the 2 girls. He's touched all 3 of the kids. He's touched his little brother, he's touched his 4-year-old sister, and he's touched his 2-year-old sister. But all of this will come out eventually. My uncle cannot say anything right now because the case is still open. But my thing is, you're sitting over here saying that he did all of this stuff, but if he did, the police themselves said that he would be in jail. They would have took him to jail as soon as the hospital said, oh my gosh, the baby's been touched. He would have been in booking right away. He wouldn't be out right now working. He wouldn't be out right now being bothered with all of this extra stuff that you're putting on him because of the fact that you want money. Like what mother uses this platform to sit up there and say, my babies have been touched, excuse me, and then sit over there and then try to put a GoFundMe page up?
She not lying. We all know this woman want money, y'all. She said, cut that check. Y'all heard her. She said, cut that check. So no, listen, y'all don't have to like her, right? We're not here about likes. We're not even here about sympathy, especially when it comes to these adults. We are here to see who is really telling the truth when it comes to the situation. And like I said, I'm leaning more towards, I believe that the son is the one that touched these kids. That's what I believe. That is what I believe, just based off of what I've seen. And the fact that Paloma decided to delete the video about how she was defending her son. It's like, if the whole purpose of you uploading this video saying, I'm defending my son, and then you delete the video, that's weird to me, unless you didn't want that to be used against you in court. I'm not really sure. So a lot of things that Paloma, the things that she does, it just doesn't make any sense. It doesn't seem like this is a mother that is truly trying to protect her children. It seems like she's trying to get a bag. That's what she's trying to get, whether it's from us, she's trying to get a bag from the people online, or she's trying to get a bag from her ex-husband. But just know, like, this is all money driven, and that's what it looks like, and that's what it seems like, and we're just gonna go with that for now. But it could change. Let's see. Let's get into this interview. Thank you for the compliments. I really do appreciate it. Oh, by the way, I meant now, I've been keeping up with Sunday. If you don't know Sunday, I keep leaving her YouTube channel under every ISIS video that I do, because that woman is over there. She doing the Lord's work, y'all. She doing deep dives. I'm talking, she found out that ISIS, aka Paloma, was out here leaving her children with her grandmother for like weeks, days on end, so that she could run the streets with different men. And she ended up getting kicked out. It's a lie. And this is all allegedly, it is a lie that she moved from her ex-boyfriend's house right into her ex-husband's house. According to Sunday, who is doing like this deep dive, and I'm just assuming people have it out for ISIS, because girl, how are people able to get so much information on your private life? She has an ex-best friend's mother that spoke out about her because she lived with her ex-best friend's family at one point. They're no longer friends or anything like that. So listen, Sunday is doing a really good job of doing a deep dive. And I believe that she knows some people that knows ISIS or knew of her, that's like really exposing her on her channel. So it's just a lot of stuff that's coming out about this woman. And a lot of women are not going to be happy because, ooh, you was really rooting for her. You was supporting her. You was defending her. You was going hard for her. But it's like so many people are coming out exposing her regarding who she really is. Her grandmother kicked her out And it was because she kept running the streets, leaving her kids with her and not taking care of her responsibilities and just being irresponsible. So I'll make sure to leave a link if you're interested in learning more about Paloma, because we only know Isis. But if you want to learn more about Paloma, I'll make sure to leave Sunday's YouTube channel under this video, because like I said, she's doing deep dives over there. But let's get into this interview.
Her grandmother ended up putting her out because she was leaving her kids,
Oh.
her 2 boys, with her grandmother for weeks at a time. He has never, not once, in all of my 34 years of living, never shown me any signs that he wanted to touch me in any kind of way. He never acted on any kind of, funny behavior or anything like that.
Like, say no, it's easy for women.
This question gets asked a lot. The son is 10. Okay, the son is 10.
To take advantage of him?
Yes.
Well, was he aware of this particular content?
Well, he knows about it now.
She said they got married within a week. Was that true?
She wasn't living with an ex-boyfriend before she moved in with my uncle. She was living in her car with her 2 boys. It is medically proven that she has mental illness. Yeah, because she bought the rings. She bought the rings to propose to him. That she had a breakdown one day, and she admitted that her mother framed her dad when they were younger, saying that her dad touched them to get full custody of her and her sisters.
She come from a family of women that does this to men. So he is allowed to see his kids.
He is. He is.
So if he's allowed to see his kids, there is no evidence that he done anything to his babies.
I also want to throw this out here too. I gotta say it. Why don't the girls? Why don't they want to talk to us? Why don't they want to talk to the women? I mean, I'm sure Isis could have found a woman online that would hold space for her to come on her platform and tell her side of the story, right? Denise too. Like, why don't any of the women in the situation want to talk to women? I don't get that. And the reason I say that is because it's very similar to when I say, when you're dating a guy and you're trying to take him serious, take him around other men, because it's harder to charm other men. It's harder to charm other men. Other men will see the game. They'll see right through it. Same thing with if you're a man and you're dating a woman and you're trying to vet her, we'll take her around other women, because we gonna see through the bullshit. We're women. And I feel like some of this is part of it. Male validation, male attention may be another reason. But it's like, damn, so don't talk to the women. Or is there a reason behind why they're not talking to us? Is it because of the questions we would ask? Or I don't know why. That's why I just don't trust the situation from either party. Because it's like, you're women, but you're talking to all of these men. Nobody wants to talk to us.
It's nothing yet. Nothing yet. And at this point, they're looking into her and her son as well. And she wasn't supposed to say anything about the case until it was completely over. Like, that's criminal charges that my uncle can put against her. And he said that it's been plenty of times where she's left them at the house by themselves while she go out and shop or go get marijuana or whatever. They have a record where the kids missed 45 days of school. Like, you've hurt this man to his core, because I know for a fact that when he got these kids, he was overjoyed. And right now, I can't even really have phone conversations with him because of the hurt that I feel that he has in his voice. And so she ended up getting violent with him.
But listen, this is so true, Amani. Word on the street, though, is that she runs the streets. And so she had the oldest at a very young age. So right out of high school, I believe. So there's no telling what this son has seen, what he has experienced in his short time here on earth. Like, honestly, because the grandmother is saying that she's irresponsible and it's the reason why she kicked her out. So, yeah, I mean, but my point is, you can't assume that he got it from her ex-husband. You could assume that maybe he picked it up with the many different men that she was out here dating or seeing. That's a possibility. So he's seeing something, he's learned something. It's definitely a learned behavior. But if you have a bunch of people around your kid, you really don't know who to pinpoint who he may have picked up that behavior from. Honestly, he could have picked it up off TV. No supervision. You don't know. Like, you really don't know. It's hard to really pinpoint. So I hope women are learning through this experience too. Like, don't be having your kids exposed to just anyone or everyone or just anything, because they can pick up behaviors that are violent, predatory. I mean, the list goes on. So you just gotta be careful about that.
Trying to put hands on him. She hit him about 4 or 5 times. So once she found out about the divorce, that's when she pretty much went for the jugular. Because like, now her second son's dad is trying to get custody of him, because this is not the first time that he's heard about his son being touched by her older son. Like, he is burning him.
And see, I question that because, again, if you go out there to Baltimore, Maryland's website, like, you'll see that he tried to fight for custody, the second son's father. So, and I'm like, that's interesting. Like, why would he feel the need to do that? So based off of both of them telling their stories, the son being the issue to me makes the most sense, y'all. It makes the most sense. And then with no police report, no arrest, no nothing, it's the reason why I'm leaning more towards what this woman is saying and why it makes the most sense to me based off of what we're able to see. So I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. I feel like time will tell, though. Time is going to reveal all when it comes to the situation.
Him up in the inside to know that she's out there making him look this bad. But I just want her to come clean and finally say, like, this did not happen.
So in this interview, we discussing the new trophy wife, Isis Morale, or AKA Paloma Dowdy, when, you know, her story went super viral about her marrying a monster. So she spoke on her husband being a monster, which I had an inkling that something wasn't right. And I just did this interview with the niece of her husband. And you see within the intro, it is a lot of things that she is covering that she has talking to her uncle with to give to me to let everybody know that when it's time and he have his kids, he gonna speak on it. But let's get into the interview. Y'all know I'm demonetized on my House of Hypocrites page. Hey, show some love to the Cash App. And if you can't, just like, comment, and subscribe on this page. Appreciate you.
Hello everyone. I'm Dearica Dowdy. I'm the oldest niece of the trophy wife's husband. We have, the family in general, have been following all of the videos and everything that she has been putting out against him. And I know a lot of people say, well, why would we listen to y'all or whatever? But it's at this point, just think about the fact that he is, like he said, an older man who doesn't really know about TikTok or anything like that. He let the younger people deal with that. This is a man that sits in the house and reads the Bible.
Girl, get the hell out. No, I'm sorry. Absolutely not. Y'all, let me calm down. This man was on a website soliciting young girls to date. What are we talking about? He leaves that up for the young people. He be out here reading his Bible. See, this is what I be talking about, y'all. This is what I be talking about. That's manipulative as hell. That's why I don't trust nobody in this situation. Get the hell up out of here with that. Absolutely not. And that's why I feel like we dealing with crazies. Because, girl, this man had a profile out here trying to get young women. What are you talking about? You don't know that man like that? Here we go. Here we go. I already know where this is about to go. Oh.
And, you know, likes to do just random older guy stuff. Like, he's really not a person that goes out like we do.
But he dates younger girls. He dates women decades younger than him. Okay. See, this is what I was talking about. This is exactly what I was talking about.
So me being the oldest niece and me being the only one that has the right at this point to do this, because everybody else either has a job that stops them from being able to speak on this platform, or they have other things going on in life that stop them. So I work for myself. I can sit up here and speak on behalf of my family and my uncle because I love my family and I want to protect just like anybody else would. So, yeah, I put the videos out about Paloma because of the fact that I felt like she was definitely trying to get sympathy from everybody out here when it wasn't really necessary, or it wasn't something that was needed, because she really is not telling the truth on any of this stuff that she's saying. And it's hard for me as a mother to sit over here and listen to her make these allegations against someone who I personally know that has wanted kids forever, and then finally is able to have these kids and then have to go through something terrible like this is crazy to me. Because
I got a quick question. Sometimes we have family, but was the husband somebody that like you actually were close to? Like actually are close to? Okay.
Yes. He pretty much was a very big part of my growing up. My dad was there, but when he was not, my uncle stepped in for us. He was the one that we wanted to hang.
You know what? That actually makes a lot of sense. That does. That makes a lot of sense to me. That does. It seems like she be stealing other people's stories all the time. And y'all know I'm big on patterns. I'm big on patterns. Like, people had an issue with my Jay-Z take, but patterns don't lie. And when you have a pattern, that's the thing I need people to understand. Like, if you want to see through people, because people always ask me, like, how do you read people? How do you see through people? Everyone has a default setting when it comes to their behavior. You just need to take a step back and really look at what they're doing. Everyone has a default setting when it comes to their behavior, when it comes to their routines, their daily routines, weekly routines. Everyone has a default setting. So one thing I noticed about Isis is, like, that's what she does. She takes other women's stories or other people's stories, and then she flips them and she turns them into her own in order to manipulate people and get what she wants. And it's very obvious. So same thing with Jay-Z, because you're seeing a lot of people that are like manipulators. They're like, being exposed. So another thing with Jay-Z, like, he has a history of crossing people. Like, if it benefits him, he's going to cross them. If it's for money or if it's to save his own ass, that's what he's going to do. So it wasn't shocking that Jay-Z came out. Well, he had his lawyer do his dirty work, came out and said, like, we were never friends like that. Even though he was on record saying, that's my brother, that's my brother, that's my brother. And we all know in the Black community what that means. So just pay attention to people's default settings. That's what I'm gonna tell you to do. But you have to give people time for them to show you what their default setting is. At first, you're gonna meet their representative, and then they're gonna get comfortable. That's the thing. You gotta allow people to get comfortable with you. And then once you allow people to get comfortable with you, they have that default setting, and you need to look to see, like, what is that default setting? And everyone has one. Everyone has one. Thank you for these super chats. Thank you. That is so sweet. Okay, let me continue. Thank you for the super chats. And thank you for the cash apps. I love when I get cash apps randomly during the day. Very sweet. Thank you so much.
Hang out with, we wanted to go see all the time. Like, he was pretty much in the Navy, so he was deployed most of the time back and forth. So when he did come home, he made sure that we were his first priority. He made sure that, hey, I want to see my nieces and nephews. I want to spend time with them, because he didn't get that time like everybody else.
That's important. Okay, let me see.
But he's never, and one of the things that I do want to clear up that a lot of people were saying in the comments, he has never, not once in all of my 34 years of living, never shown me any signs that he wanted to touch me in any kind of way. He never acted on any kind of,
And that's why I feel like, y'all, this is manipulative to me. I don't like it. Just tell us what the hell is his, like, just tell us his side of the story. You know what I mean? Stop trying to paint his innocence, because people are going to automatically reject that. We don't know this man. We know the only thing that we actually know of him is that he had a profile on a website where he was soliciting young girls, and then he was trying to marry them fast. That's not a good look. So stop trying to paint who he is to us, because we don't know him like that. We only know of him, and it's not looking good. So just tell us the side of the story. And that's the thing that's like killing me with people lately when it comes to them proving their innocence. Like, just tell us if you did it or you didn't do it, and leave it at that, or what your side of the story is, and just leave it at that. But when you're trying to paint a picture and you're doing all of this extra explaining and things, like, it's manipulative. It's just really, really, truly manipulative, y'all. Just tell us what happened and just leave it at that, and then let us decide. But you're not giving us, that's the thing, you're not giving us a choice in it. You want to persuade us, and you want us to just believe what you're saying, and that's it. And that's not fair. Just tell us the truth. Just be direct about it and just keep it at that.
Oh, funny behavior or anything like that. Like, no, and I'm not trying to put too much business out there, but I know certain family members that have had those traits, and it's easier to pick up on versus with him, he's never.
So that means the behavior is in your family. You just openly admitted that the behavior is in your family. So if it is true, did this behavior get picked up by your uncle because it was something that he saw by other family members?
Given that at all. He's always been a nurturer. He's always been a mama's boy. Like, he would never do anything that he didn't feel like was right. He's that one, you know how you always have that group of friends, right? And you got that one friend that is always sticking to the rules no matter what. Like, he's not gonna drink, he's not gonna smoke. Yeah, he's sticking to the rules. Like, if my mama find out I did this, like, it's gonna be consequences. Like, that's the type of person.
Would you say, since he seems like he had a lot of character and merit and has some type of morals and standards, would you say, since he's this nice guy, because it sounds like he's a nice guy, like, would you say it's easy for women to take advantage of him?
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Y'all know I don't believe in the nice guy. I don't believe in the nice girl. I don't believe in the good girl. I don't believe in the good boy. I don't believe in that. Everyone has something about them that is flawed, period. That's just the truth. There's no such thing. If someone is trying to paint themselves to be good, it's manipulation. Because when you're yourself, when you have to set boundaries, when you have to defend yourself, you're not going to be nice all the time. You're going to have to stand up for yourself. So that means you may be a bitch, or you may be mean, or you may be rude, or you may have to step on people's toes. So when people try to paint somebody out to be good or bad, it's manipulation to me. It doesn't matter if it's a male or a female. Okay? Because sometimes women will be fake nice or nice nasty or all of that stuff, but like to other people they're like, oh my god, like, she's so nice, I love her, da, 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 da. But she is a mean girl. So I don't like that. I don't like it at all. I don't like it. Y'all know how I am when it comes to the nice guy, nice girl, good boy. It's just bullshit to me, honestly.
Was he aware of this particular content that she was making about how you get an older man, how you try to get a man to take care of her? Or was it like, what was this persona that she was trying to put out? Is that something he was aware of, or is this something he came to know, or do he even know about it at all?
Well, he knows about it now because we've shared the information with him just to help with the case, and help him prove to them that she's been putting this stuff out there. But for him, he said that she was saying that it was a lifestyle content. She wasn't making it seem like she was doing gold digging content, or how to trap a man to get him to do what you want type deal.
So he wasn't even controlling enough. He wasn't as controlling as she tried to make it seem, because if he was, he would have knew the type of content she'd been making for what? How many years has she been making this type of content?
She said about 5.
Okay, so he wasn't even controlling enough to even go dig into what she was doing in her own personal life pertaining to this content. So I think
No.
There's a video that I did exposing her about how she was responding to herself. And I was like, girl, you know damn well that man did not say that. So it's not shocking to me to learn that he didn't really know anything about the content that she was really putting online, because there was a comment that she's saying he responded to. But it's like, girl, you know damn well that man did not write that. A woman wrote it. You could just tell. Just the words that were used. You could tell she was responding to herself, trying to, clap back at the haters.
most men, if he would have knew about this, I don't think he would have acted so fast. Because I see that um she said they had got married within a week, but it seems like they knew each other longer because she was explaining the situation about I guess the man before her and how I guess things weren't working out because the oldest son. He said the oldest son might have had some bad behavior that he didn't agree with the previous boyfriend, and he wanted the oldest son to maybe go stay with a relative. So it seems like I don't know. Did they know each other before that week, or like how did that work?
The thing that he told me is that they had been talking over the internet. The thing that the family, like when we first found out about her and all of this, they were talking over the internet, and this is the killer part, because she never told anybody, or she hasn't said this part to any of the interviews or anything that she's done, but she was living with her grandmother before they met, and they were talking on the internet and all of that. Her grandmother ended up putting her out because she was leaving her kids, her two boys, with her grandmother for weeks at a time, just to go and do whatever with different men, or so forth. And then she would come back, and when that last time she came back, her grandma put her out, which put her in living in her car. So when she said that she was living with an ex-boyfriend, she wasn't living with an ex-boyfriend before she moved in with my uncle. She was living in her car with her two boys. She put the narrative out there like she was moving out of one relationship into another, when that had happened way before the situation with her and my uncle.
Wow. So
yes.
she
This is not giving sprinkle advice. I can't believe she was blaming Cher in her interview about, oh, Cher is my mentor. Ain't no way. Absolutely no way. No way. And I felt like Paloma was doing that on purpose, because it's like she's trying to knock down Cher to build herself up. And it's like, baby, in this space, that shit don't work. It does not work. That's not how you get in, sis. That's not how you get a seat at the table. You actually have to put in that work and show up consistently to get a seat at the table. So knocking down another woman to uplift yourself is not going to work. And she tried to do that in her interview. And she tried to blame Cher 7 for how she ended up in this situation. But it's like, it seems like your life was not together at all. And one thing about Cher, she's going to coach you into getting your life together first. Making sure your ducks are in a row, making sure you're on stable ground before you go out here and you start looking at men at all. Like, honestly, she teaches you that, starting with your self-esteem, self-confidence, all of that type of stuff. You were in no position to really be out here. Really, you needed to get your life together. And some women need to hear that. Some of y'all don't need the date. Some of y'all need to actually get your life together. Get your banking account in order. You get what I'm saying? Like, fix your credit. Let's lose some weight. And then that's another thing. It ain't even just lose weight. It's not even lose weight all the time. Like, some of it is you need to get your mind right. That's crazy. Fix your credit. Even if a man was to come in and help, he would have to do so much work because you didn't even meet him halfway.
You're a pathological liar.
Found her. Yeah. Oh, she has proof, or it's you can look it up for all those people that like to look up information, and you can too. It is medically proven that she has mental illness. And then
Baby,
I just found out recently, with everybody doing their research and then me going,
how are we able to access her medical history? How did you access her medical history? Y'all see what I'm talking about? How did you get access to that? Because we can't just go look that up. That's a HIPAA violation. How did she find out that she has a mental disorder of some kind?
going back doing family research, that her son is mentally ill as well because she was doing drugs while she was pregnant with her firstborn. So he's
How old is
mentally,
the firstborn son?
I think he is 10.
Okay.
Yeah, he's 10, and I
So
think
he
that
old
Saint
enough
is
to know
7.
he old enough to know a little bit better. Sometimes we believe that our kids have these mental challenges, but it be the parenting that isn't putting this putting into them the love, the raising them, teaching them things. So when they go and get evaluated, they be so far behind. We think our kids have autism or have some type of thing. If you saying she will leave the babies 2-3 weeks on time with the grandmother, she was
Y'all, did he really just say that? Lord. Did he really just say that? Did this man really just say that? Oh my God, that's awful. Like, I can't believe he just said that. We got okay. Wow. I'm gonna just move on, y'all. We just gonna get through it. We just gonna get through
an
it.
addict while having a baby, yeah, that could most definitely see signs of like some type of mental issues. But if you're neglecting your child, you're not raising your child, of course it's gonna have challenges. So that's a reflection of how she.
I just want to say, because this is a large platform, that autism is not it's not brought on by neglect. Could you imagine if a parent of an autistic child heard that and then they look at themselves like, oh my God, I must have did something wrong. I must have neglected my child in some type of way. Did he really just say that? Okay. That's very harmful to push. Okay. I mean, I could get with learning disabilities. I can get with that, but like autism, that was just a bad example.
Is a parent. And then when she did say, oh, after a week I was married, that is still in a reflection of your parenting skills, because you don't know this man. Well, we presume you don't know this man, right? And you say you go after a week you go get married. You was in a financial hardship, and you knew a man to take care of you, and that's all it was. That's all it was. So
yeah, because she bought the rings. She bought the rings to propose to him. So she bought the rings with the child support money.
Wait. Okay, she said, please re-listen. He did not say autism is brought on by neglect. He said parents can think that their child has autism because they neglect their children or their child. So he's referring to uniform parents. Okay, let me go back, because I'm like, did I miss let me go back.
The raising them, teaching them things. So when they go and get evaluated, they be so far behind. We think our kids have autism or have some type of thing. If you saying she will leave the babies 2-3 weeks on time with the grandmother, she was an addict while having the baby.
So he's saying we think. Okay, I mean, I can see it that way. That's not how I heard it the first time. It made it seem like maybe they were neglecting the child, then got the child help, and then found out that it was autism and it was due to the neglect. That's what I thought. But hey, I could be wrong. It could be backwards. Maybe you're right. Okay. I mean, I could be wrong. I don't mind being wrong.
Maybe, yeah, that could most definitely see signs of like some type of mental issues. But if you're neglecting your child, you're not raising your child, of course it's gonna have challenges. So that's a reflection of how she is a parent. And then when she did say, oh, after a week I was married, that is still in a reflection of your parenting skills, because you don't know this man. Well, we presume you don't know this man, right? And you say you go after a week you go get married. You was in a financial hardship, and you knew a man to take care of you, and that's all it was. That's all it was. So
yeah, because she bought the rings. She bought the rings to propose to him.
That's crazy.
So she bought the rings with the child support money and the money that she was getting from other men. And then you sit over there and this man already tells you, like, I'm a godly man. Like, I'm not going to shack up with no woman without, you know, being married. So you say, okay, I'm going to go get the ring so you can, so we can get married and I can have a place to stay with my 2 boys.
So that's why she
Now,
still had that one ring. She still has that one ring on when she recorded the video in her videos because she actually bought those herself. So it wasn't anything sentimental that he gave her. It's some shit she bought.
right. And this is a history in her family. This is what her and her family does. It's been said before that her sisters and them look for high value men so that they can get the money off of them, and then or have babies with them so that they feel like they can reel them in long term. Now, I have another nugget for you, but I'm gonna let you get the rest of your questions out before I tell you.
Nah, go ahead. We good. We good. Just do you.
I mean, I get the girls are doing things kind of like out of order. I get that, but if a woman is laying down with a man that doesn't have any resources, that looks bad on you as a woman. Because you're marrying or you're laying down with a man that he's a bum. Let's just be real. Now, does he have to be the richest? No. But I hope that he has medical insurance, a primary care physician, a savings account of some kind, and he's working to build himself to be more financially stable. Yeah. Like what? That's why I'm just like, so are women supposed to be out here? We're just supposed to lay down with bums and have kids with bums, so then we could excitedly become a single mother who has to do it all and break our backs to do it all to make ends meet. Seriously? So that I don't really agree with that. Now, I could agree with Isis. Her approach was wrong. But I don't see anything wrong with a woman desiring that. I mean, why would she lay down with a bum? That's crazy. And ladies, I'm gonna say it right now, if you are laying down with a man that does not have a primary care physician, please let's reevaluate some things, because that's crazy. Let's continue, because the men with the good jobs, they have the primary care physician. They know who their doctor is. You could actually call and look at their records, and there will be something on record for them when it comes to their primary care yearly exam. You get what I'm saying? So you shouldn't be laying down with no man that doesn't even have health care insurance. Like, that's just, I don't know. I don't really like that part, but okay.
Just do your thing. We flowing. Do your thing. Because I ain't got too much. Everything else is just going to go from memory.
Oh, she was.
Okay, so I was told by a very close family member that was a very big part of their household because of the cleanliness and the taking care of the kids that she was doing, well, was not doing. That she had a breakdown one day, and she admitted that her mother framed her dad when they were younger, saying that her dad touched them to get full custody of her and her sisters.
So she repeating the same thing she was taught. Well, not taught, but she heard her mom did. Damn. It's a scandalous game. And people will say, well, why would she lie? Man, why would anybody lie, man? People have lied over the most simplest things to the most things that got people lives.
Okay, so now we got two strangers on the internet throwing out allegations about both families. That's what we got. We have a family that's feuding. That's it. Like, that's all they're not getting along. So we the public, this is why I be saying, like, people be coming online and they be trying to manipulate the public, and they're trying to get us on our side. But all I see is like two sides trying to manipulate us, and we don't know you. We don't know you. We don't know you from a can of paint. Now, the people that know you, okay, this makes sense to them. But for us, it's like, we don't know y'all. We don't know who's lying, really. We don't know who's telling the truth, because we don't know you. And then, unfortunately, for Paloma, she came online impersonating someone that she's not. So believing her is just not smart to me. You can't believe everything that she says, because anyone that can come online and be an imposter and pretend to be something that they're not, and that's a scam artist. That's a con artist. That's what that is. So it's like, we don't know y'all. So I didn't understand the purpose of even putting that information out here. We don't know y'all like that to even be like, really? So that's what happened.
Take it. You feel me?
Right.
A woman or a man will lie, even if it involves their children. Especially if they trying to one up on somebody else. It's like, it's not far-fetched. And then if you got some type of discernment, if you just got some type of skepticism where you can just look at somebody and say, man, something ain't right. And I seen it. I'm like, man, ain't no way you about to get glammed up, fake ass tears. You got a ring on your finger, all this, and then you chopping it up, full production, and you putting a story out about your babies. God forbid anything happened to kids.
Ladies, she did edit that video, and I thought that was weird. It was so crazy. When I watched the video originally, I couldn't really watch it. So I was so emotionally driven when I watched it the first time. I couldn't even really watch it because I'm like, oh my God, like this is so awful. Especially when she got into the description of what happened and how she found out. I honestly could barely get through the damn video. So then when I went back and I watched it without being emotionally driven, I was like, okay, this is giving production. This is giving production. Just me being a YouTuber and going behind the scenes and editing videos, chopping up videos and things like that. And like really trying to think like where her mindset would have been as she sat down to create the video. Then I was like, okay, I'm like, it's not as believable as it was before because I was emotionally driven the first time. So, because like I said, I could barely get through it. Okay, let's continue.
If I had any, I would not broadcast it to the world to say this what happened to my babies.
No,
but man, I'll be in jail. Come on, bro.
Exactly. Listen, that's why I said I'm not gonna be sitting over there trying to preserve my tears or none of that. Like everybody thought I was trying to be rude about that, but I'm not being rude. I'm just saying, if you have a kid and being a mother and somebody touch your kid, you're not going to care about trying to preserve your makeup and make it look all fancy. Like, I'm going to let it show. Like, I'm going to bawl, boo-hoo, cry. My makeup messed up or whatever. Like, I'm going to be real about it. I'm not going to be sitting over here and for damn, excuse me, but I'm not going to sit up here and put my kids out there and say, oh, he did this to my kids for people to go look them up like they did. And now look, my cousins are on the internet with their faces
on the internet
out. Like they have videos with faces out. Like they can actually see these kids.
And that's awful, y'all. That's what rubbed me the wrong way about this whole situation from beginning to end was how she had her kids' faces out here. And even when she put out the video, she took forever. She took forever to delete her children's photos off the community tab, off of Instagram. And that's what made me really upset about the situation. It was just how she decided to handle it. Let's entertain the fact that it's true, right? You're not moving like a mother that truly cares about her children. You're moving like someone that's money hungry and you're willing to do whatever it takes to get the bag. And your children are an afterthought. And it's looking like you have a pattern of doing that, which means you don't prioritize your kids, you prioritize yourself. And if she's right about the grandmother, if Sunday is right about the ex-best friend that spoke out, the ex-best friend's mother that spoke out, this is a woman that's money driven. She does not prioritize her children. And so how are we supposed to take all of this information in? I don't know. She could be telling the truth because listen, there's this thing where there isn't a perfect victim. So she could be telling the truth about the situation, but it's really hard taking her side when she does not make decisions and choices where it seems like her kids are priority. Even when she did the interview with Hardly Initiated, I talked to 2 social workers, 2 attorneys, and who else did I talk to? 2 social workers, 2 attorneys, and basically they were saying, if you were ever in a situation like this, the worst thing you could ever do is to speak out on a platform because it could kill the investigation. The best thing to do is to sit back and wait. And I know for a fact that if I'm being advised this based off of the situation, that I know she was being advised this by other professionals as well, because they deal with these situations, these type of cases all the time. So when she spoke out on Hardly Initiated, and then she ended the interview with, well, if you want me to go black, you want me to fade to black, then you need to cut that check. If you want me to stay off social media, you need to cut that check. Girl, you could get a job. But you know what else that's so crazy to me is this is a woman that has 5 kids. I know for a fact she qualifies for government assistance. No way in hell. 5 kids, you qualify for a lot of government assistance. It may take some time. It may take some time, but you can stay with family. But then again, it's mandated by the protective order that he has to pay her maintenance. He has to pay her lifestyle. He has to keep up with paying the lifestyle. The kids and the lifestyle that they were introduced to, he has to keep paying for that. So I just didn't understand it. I didn't understand. It just, none of her moves, none of her decisions, none of her choices made any sense to me. And if she was really trying to seek justice for her girls, she wouldn't have did that in a hardly initiated interview. And I stand by that because, girl, too many people are saying the same thing for me. Too many professionals.
So now people going to look for these kids and you're not even aware of this stuff because you just sitting over there trying to get a GoFundMe or likes and whatnot.
Yeah, I seen everything. I seen everything, but I had to respect enough. Like, I'm not about to put these babies on the internet. Some people don't care, but she opened her life up to people to go dive in. People like me, most people ain't gonna have no goddamn what you call the ethics behind this shit when it comes to not putting out certain information. It's one person on the internet. That person is doing too much. Like, man, get a baby some respect. But I don't understand.
I agree.
Why look, she did that 2-hour interview with Hardly Initiated and tried to cry the entire 2 hours. I sped the video up 2 times and I'm still hearing but she was cracking. She was cracking her character when they challenged her with hard questions. I said,
I don't know. And see, all she had to do was sit back and be quiet. That's all she had to do. She overdid it with that hardly initiated interview. And then when the therapist read her to Phil, and the therapist don't know nothing about the situation, I said, girl, come on now. She overdid it. She overdid it in that hardly initiated interview. If this is fake, that's what got her for me. Because, girl, what?
Yeah, she good, but she ain't that goddamn good. She come from a family of women that does this to men. Like, she got practice from the shit. Like, this is it's wild. So with the protective order, is that because I seen that it's been canceled and thrown out probably like a few weeks ago. But she went on there and said she still have a protective order. How is that working? Is he able to see the kids, or is she keeping away from him, or did she try to get a new one?
She's still keeping the kids away from him. She's also trying to find ways, or she tried to find ways to stop him from being able to pay child support so that she can keep up this facade that she was homeless and living out of the car, which she's not. She's still living in the house. And now she's having to be given the child support money by the lawyer because she's trying.
I told y'all that in the protective order, it literally says mandated. He has to keep up with the maintenance. So this woman is not destitute. She's not on the street. Her kids are being fed. They going to bed in a warm bed. They getting their baths at bedtime. Which is why I don't understand why she's moving the way that she's moving. It just does not make any sense to me.
Trying to block him from any way of sending it to her, so it'll look like he's not paying child support.
So he is allowed to see his kids.
He is.
So if he's allowed to see his kids, there is no evidence that he done anything to his babies.
It's nothing yet. Nothing yet. And at this point, they're looking into her and her son as well. Because with her putting all of this out there, and she wasn't supposed to say anything about the case until it was confirmed.
I was about to say, I don't believe that because there's a protective order. Are these scheduled, monitored visits that she's referring to, court-ordered visits? I can see if it's supervised. I can see it being a supervised visit through the courts, but just, I don't know. I wonder if she's gonna clean that up because the documents online say otherwise.
Completely over, like that's criminal charges that my uncle can put against her, and then the fact that he's trying to go for full custody of the kids because of the fact that he was saying, when he was living in the house, the one thing that really made him want to get a divorce was the fact that she does not clean. She said that he found dirty diapers all over the house, in the closet, under the bed, all of that. She does not be at the house with the kids all the time. These are young kids that can't stay at the house by themselves, even the 10-year-old. And he said that it's been plenty of times where she has left them at the house by themselves while she go out and shop or go get marijuana or whatever.
What is up with the girls putting y'all? I what y'all? I don't know. Do y'all think she dirty? I don't know. You know, people put on good fronts on social media, so I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. That again, that's he say, she say, you know. Again, he say, she say.
So she just neglect the kids entirely.
Yes, they have
she's
a record. They have a record where the kids missed 45 days of school.
Wow. She don't want this shit.
45 days.
You have to, something has to be wrong with you when you know you have all these documentations, but she a little bit smart because she know we can't look up the cases that involving the children too much unless it's involving an adult. So now if you the adult and it's involving the children, then it might be a little bit sealed and the CPS protect that shit. But she has a pattern. She has a pattern from the grandmother house. She has a pattern from your uncle. You know, and when one thing I noticed. If you're going to accuse somebody, bitch, put a name on it. Not,
you know what's crazy though too? If this happens to be true, like say this is the truth, right? Do you not know there are so many single mothers out here that don't get nearly as many second chances, support, or extra help? And this girl has so much support. She gets so many second chances. Why is that always the case? Anytime I see situations like this, it's always a girl that's not really taking advantage of her blessings, her privileges, and things. She doesn't want to be accountable at all. And she's just like really messing up support. There are single mothers out here that don't get no support at all. I will never forget one time I was mentoring a single mother and she just needed 45 minutes with me. She didn't have 45 minutes. 45 minutes out of her day. She didn't have 45 minutes. And so it's just, if this is true, and this girl she really out here just like burning bridges with people that are really there for her, really wanting to support her and help her. That's just really sad. That is really sad. That is really sad. Because I know some single mothers out here that are single mothers and they really don't have anyone at all. Everything is on them. Everything is falling on their shoulders financially, with the kids themselves. It's just it's a lot. So to see that she has like such a support system, which really is sounding like more of enabling around her, it's just sad that she's just not really she's taking these people for granted, her family for granted.
Once in no interviews, not once in no interviews have she said such and such did this. Put a name on it. Oh my husband.
Exactly.
Nah, if you did something wrong, like everybody that I didn't put on the internet, I'm saying your goddamn name. I got so much respect for even the scum that I won't even put your address and your phone number out there because I can find it. But if somebody does something to you, hey, put a name on it. Who is your husband? You feel me? That's how I know this story ain't got no merit. You can't even your soul can't even allow you to lie like that. You lying, but you ain't connecting that name to it because you know that man don't deserve that shit.
Exactly.
I don't fuck with
and then you're still trying to contact him and all of this other stuff, trying to still sneak your way in to see what you can get, and it's not going to happen. Like you've hurt this man to his core because you think that he's gonna. The one thing that I heard her say before was he waited till he had his own kids to do this too. I don't know anybody that's gonna wait for years and years to have kids just to violate them.
Y'all see what I'm talking about, y'all? She is speaking for this man like she's in his skin. And it's disturbing. You can never speak for someone else as if you're in their skin. Oh my goodness. It's just that's what I don't like. It's very manipulative. It's very, very manipulative. You can't speak for someone else as if you're in their skin. They have to speak for themselves, y'all. And this whole interview is biased. I just got to be honest with y'all. It is very biased. It's not really helpful. It's like if you're gonna be an interviewer, you need to set the tone and be objective at certain points in order for it to be a really, really good interview. You can't just be biased throughout the interview, because then it just comes across as you're biased and this is a manipulative interview. So yeah, I don't know, y'all. I don't know. I don't know. This, I mean, honestly, it's kind of giving Jay-Z and an attorney, Tony Busby, like they going neck to neck, head to head, like one lawsuit they filed, then the other one files another lawsuit, and it's just like neck to neck, back and forth. That's what I'm getting from both of these girls. That's what I'm getting from this. And we, the public, is just going back and forth, being manipulated back and forth. She's saying this, and then she's saying that, and it's just like the truth is somewhere in the middle, okay? The truth is somewhere in the middle.
That makes no sense to me whatsoever.
Just to become a predator. Most people that are predatory or criminals or strippers or whatever, it's when it's degeneracy, it's always a pattern from the past. You just don't be 40, 50 years old and try to go express some stuff that you ain't never done that's gonna bring up pain and hurt and harm to somebody. It's learned, and then you exuding it throughout your lifetime. Why would he wait to have some kids if he was a goddamn predator?
Yeah,
get it.
And that's the crazy part. I'm sorry about the background.
I don't know. I've never been a predator. I don't know why predators do what they do. Yo, this is crazy. I don't know why predators. Do y'all know why predators do what they do? This is crazy. They speaking for predators as if they were a predator themselves. That's why I said this is too much. Listen, if you don't know anything about manipulation is when someone is trying to and this is emotional manipulation. It's when someone is trying to convince you of who someone is or who they are, and you either don't know them or you had a different experience with them, and so they're trying to manipulate you with how you should feel about them. And that's what I'm saying. Like, this whole thing is manipulative. You're trying to convince me that he's not like this, he's actually like this, but then it's like, I don't know him. So that's manipulative right off the bat. I would have to get to know that person, but this is emotionally manipulative because we don't know who this man is. So, and then there's not only that, they're speaking for him, they're speaking for predators, and it's like, it's overkill. It's too much.
We good. We straight. Authentic.
But yeah, that was the crazy part to me, because I remember a couple times growing up that me and my brother was like, dang, I can't wait.
And I do believe that there will be I do believe that if this is something like, if he is truly a predator, there will be a pattern exposed. And I've been waiting on that. I've been waiting because he's been married 4 times. No one has came out and spoke out. None of the ex-wives have came out and spoke. I've been waiting, honestly, because I heard what the therapist said. The therapist said that when it comes to sexual predators like this, they have a pattern of doing this and being bold enough to get away with it, especially if they've gotten away with it before and they have a pattern of being able to get away with it. They typically get bolder as they do these things to people. So I remember what the therapist said. The therapist said that there will be a pattern. And this man is 47, almost 50 years old. So there should be something out here. There should be something that will hit the internet. If this is in fact true, someone else should be able to feel comfortable to come out and come forward and validate what ISIS is saying, especially one of the ex-wives. But ISIS was the one that said in the hardly initiated interview that she tried to speak to the ex-wives, and they said that they didn't want anything involved. They didn't want to be involved in the situation at all. But then again, that's her word against, we don't even know who the wives are. So we would have to just take her word for that.
So you have your own kids that you can tell what to do. So you can leave us, you can stop pretending like you're our daddy. So I know for a fact that when he got these kids, he was overjoyed. And right now, just I can't even really have phone conversations with him because of the hurt that I feel that he has in his voice. Like I can tell that this man is not
drive
okay.
somebody to the grave, dog. That heartbreakingness can drive somebody to the grave. And there's so many men that get accused of particular things, and the media just go with the narrative, right? And then they gotta face this stuff. You gotta spend money to defend a lie. You know what I'm saying? You gotta spend money to defend your name, your honor, and then it takes a toll on you, man. You don't know what sometimes people don't even want to be here because, like, damn, are they gonna believe me? There's certain situations where evidence look like it was it's a possibility that they may did this, but like, man, I hope the best for him and I hope everything on the internet that she didn't put on the internet that she tried to scrub, which everybody once it went viral, everybody on the internet got a video of something that does not look right, and I was one of them. I was one of them people to call it out. I was one of the people to call. I said, man, something ain't right with this woman, man. Can't do it.
Just like the video that they have up where they hear him and her and the baby in the background, and the baby is saying ow. Like he was like, I was trying to help them get, put their clothes and stuff on for bed.
Now I gotta be real with y'all. I saw that video, and if you notice, I never talked about the video. And the reason I never talked about that video was because, have you ever been around kids? My niece, and this is just based off of my experience with many different children, male, female, whatever the case may be. My niece, I'm trying to put her to bed and she's screaming like I'm trying to murder her or something like that. She's screaming because she doesn't want to go to bed. She's screaming because she don't want to lay down. She's screaming because she didn't get a snack. I thought that whole narrative that the internet created off of background noise, a house full of kids, you'll hear all type of stuff. And I just felt like that was unfair, like to create that whole narrative. And it's just like, if you're in a home full of kids, you'll hear all kind of stuff, y'all. I just felt like that was unfair. And it's not to say that he didn't do it, right? It's just to say, like, can we be real for a sec? Dang, like taking a video like that, it created a whole narrative behind it when kids are, they're blessings. They are. But sometimes, y'all, when you're trying to get them to go to bed, you're trying to get them to eat more vegetables, you're trying to get them to take a bath, and they just not wanting to work with you. They got an attitude. They have their own personality. It's like, come on. I just felt like that was extreme. I felt like the internet was being extreme with that, which is why I just felt like that wasn't something that I wanted to be a part of, because I'm like, have you been around kids? And we're talking about, she has 5 kids. It's like, come on. I just felt like that wasn't a realistic approach to this situation. Just let the authorities do their job. If it is in fact true, they'll find out. But the video, it's kind of hard to determine that from a video with the house full of kids.
Because she, didn't have them ready when I got home from work. So I had to go up there and do what she didn't want to, she didn't do. So it's kind of like,
they try to flip that. I said, don't try to flip some shit like that, because if this was never an accusation, none of y'all would even said nothing about that. So don't try to piece it together to make somebody look like a villain because you hear an ounce of something that you may seem abnormal. Nah, that's a kid, and she probably could see the goddamn child. So I wanted that. I see it at a different lens, man. We just ain't about to just accuse people, and then your uncle got some responsibility on himself. You gotta vet these women, dog. You have to vet these women and to be a little bit more selective on who you involve in your life and bring in your life, because shit like this will happen, man.
Yeah.
The worst thing you can do is help a woman move a woman in your house.
He's one of them lover men. You know, the men that just want to be in the just want a family so bad that they just take which one that comes to them, like the best candidate they feel, but they don't see the red flags. Like that's him. Like, yes, it's been put out there that he's been married, that she was his 4th wife, and he's had some good women along the way. But at the same time,
listen, if Paloma is sweet tea, she's not gonna come up here and talk. She's not. I don't even know why y'all entertaining that. Y'all see I ain't been entertaining it. She is not going to come up here and speak. Okay? If she want, and listen, if I was to put the link in the chat, only Sweet Tea can come up here and talk. If it's not Isis, aka Paloma, then I just don't see the point. So we already know that she's not going to come up here and speak. If you are not Sweet Tea, please do not click the link. Please do not click the link. Okay. If it's Sweet Tea, because she's been saying we need to look here and we need to look there. And I'm like, girl, I did. I already looked.
It's a growing process. Men will be men. Yeah. Men will still, okay, I got this one, but I see this one shaking a little leg, so I'm gonna go and entice that one. That's always been with him. Like, it's never been no off the wall foul, none of that stuff. It's always been like, okay, yeah, I'm an occasional man and I may, cheat. And that cost him his relationships, but it never has been him putting his hands on women, wait
a minute, girl, what? See, this, I gotta go back. Did she just that's always been with him. Like, it's never been no off the wall foul, none of that stuff. It's always been like, okay, yeah, I'm an occasional man and I may, cheat. And that cost him his relationships, but it never. Y'all see why I don't trust her? Y'all see why? Listen, the internet, you need to just sit back and relax. Okay. There's several different stories that you need to keep up with in the meantime as this story continues to cook, because it's clear this story needs to continue to cook. Because what? So he's cheated in the last 3 marriages that he's been in? It's sounding like both of these people are toxic. It seemed like their families are toxic. The families are in their drama, and then they're toxic. It's just a toxic mess to me. And then we, the internet, are now in their business. It's just, and she just tried to sweep over that. I thought this was a man that be at home reading his Bible. That's what she said earlier. She said that this man, he be trying to read his Bible. That I wasn't buying that bullshit. Remember when I said I have brothers? I'm the only granddaughter in my family, and you will never see me come online defending men in my family. You just won't see me doing it, y'all. You won't. You will not see me do it. You're never going to see me do it, y'all, because I don't know what they be up to in their spare time. I don't know who they are when I'm not around. I don't know them in the way that women know them intimately. So because of that, I'm a mind my damn business. That's the boundary that I have set. I'm not going to be a mammy and get involved in their personal, intimate relationships. That will have me out here looking crazy. And then I may be defending some bullshit. And I don't defend bullshit. So I'm going to mind my business. And I know that men are not innocent, especially when it comes to sex. So because of that, I'm going to mind my damn business, y'all. This is just crazy. I thought he read his Bible and he's not into that. That's not the type of man that he is, but he cheated in the last 3 marriages he was in. Him putting his hands on women, him SDing any women, or him, doing anything crazy to anybody's kids. So that's the only.
They had asked her a question. They had asked her a question. Have any other victims came up front? And I guess she said something about the ex-wife was so distraught that she didn't even want to speak. Where'd she get that from?
I don't think that's true.
Wait a minute. Somebody said that nothing's wrong with cheating. Everything is wrong with cheating. What are you talking about? It's a character flaw. It's about character flaw. Everything is wrong with cheating. Everything. Ice Cube got up there. He went on Cam Newton's podcast. He said he'd been with his woman for 29, 30 years. If I was a man and I was considering doing business with Ice Cube, it would be a good move because he knows how to be loyal to people. If he could be loyal to his wife, he would be loyal to me in business. Y'all don't be making sense. Y'all be trying to, and then to the men that are watching, y'all be trying to go into business with your homeboys and all of that stuff, but it's like they ain't even loyal to the woman that they be giving their body to, who they lay down next to at night, who they share their finances with, their personal intimate spaces with. Why would you go into business with them? Cheating is a character flaw. So you want to know why that homie crossed you? Well, he wasn't loyal to the woman that he was with. He ain't been loyal. He will never be loyal. It's a character flaw. That's why it matters. So if this man cheated in the last 3 marriages that he was in, that says a lot about the type of man that he is. That's just a fact.
True either. Because none of his ex-wives would even talk to her, honestly. Like, and then we're still close with, a couple of his wives. So they would never sit over there and put anything like this or be on her side with something like this with him. They will tell you,
the story. I said, my bad. The story is so big. If the story is so big, I know the ex-wives seen this shit. If there was an ounce of the truth, they would have been came out. They would have been came out and said something and validated her claims. But everybody don't have to come out in defense, but sometimes are offense and say, hey, this and that. That's not everybody lying. You know what I'm saying?
Right. No, I pretty much, the main thing that I wanted to get out there is the fact that this is learned behavior. This was something that she already had up her sleeve as a emergency plan if she didn't get anything in the divorce, or if things didn't go right for her to move to the next household until she found the next person or whatever. I've also seen on there that she was saying that she don't trust men anymore, but I'm pretty sure that you're still on the dating sites and all that other stuff trying to find your next victim, because you really don't have no money coming in right now. All your credit cards is cut off. The only money that you have is from, I guess, the GoFundMe that she put together.
This woman don't want to work. How you have 5 kids and you don't want to work? That is insane to me. That's crazy. You don't want to go to work and take care of your kids. Why did you have them? Why have kids and you don't want to take care of them? That's crazy to me. That's so crazy to me. Your husband ended up, let's just go with the story, right? Her husband ended up being a monster. The first thing I would have been looking up job applications to see what I qualify. Like, how can I get this job? I need to go back to work. I'm not waiting on YouTube. I'm not waiting on a GoFundMe. I need to go feed my babies. I need to take care of my babies. I need to make sure my babies are good. So that's what I'm saying. Not prioritize. Like I said, this woman has a history of not prioritizing her children. And then she keep getting pregnant. Then talking about, even when she did the hardly initiated interview, she was sitting up there talking about how in 10 years she wants to have another child. Why? Why? And this is the thing that I don't get about women who fantasize motherhood. That shit is a lot of work. Okay, that baby is attached to your hip like Velcro. You can't get that baby off your hip even if you wanted to. That's why I don't know why the girls be getting pregnant all the time. Like, it's mommy's baby, daddy's maybe. So that means you're gonna be responsible 100%. That's crazy. Like, she need to get a job.
But
do you
I'm not. Go ahead.
Oh, do you know why your uncle had to put in? Well, he was attempting. It seems like he was attempting to file like domestic charges or something.
Okay, hold on, y'all. House of Hypocrite. He wants to come up. Well, he doesn't want to come up. Okay, he doesn't want to come up. He wants to clear some things up. So let me go ahead and do that, because I don't like it when people twist things and take things out of context. I'm a content creator. I know how that is, and that shit is annoying. So he's saying that he was definitely being biased in his interview. Thank you for being real with that. But he's saying that this is not an interview. He said it was supposed to be a conversation and that he does not have kids. Let me see. I don't know what else he's getting at regarding a skit that he did that blew up. I'm not sure about that. But he also said that he spoke with the uncle, and he stated that the uncle will speak out. and that he allowed his niece to speak for him, which is why it sounds like she's speaking for him, because she is. Okay. And then he's telling me that Isis is in the chat and giving me her usernames. And I know these are her usernames because she's into the what is it? Esoteric stuff or the occult stuff. I don't know. Okay, let me continue. Let's continue.
Against her, but I don't think the courts accepted it in a way. Why was he doing that? What was the situation about that when he was trying to file those domestic charges against her?
She was okay. He said that she had came to where he was, trying to demand him to give her money because she was saying that her and the kids hadn't eaten and all that other stuff. And so she ended up getting violent with him, trying to put hands on him. She hit him about 4 or 5 times, and she was just going belligerent to the point where he tried to press charges on her because he was like, it's not fair that everything that I do, they can take the charges, but when it comes to her, no, it's always something. It's always a hiccup. So when he went down there, they told him that he didn't have any marks or anything like that to prove that she had hit him, so he couldn't press charges.
Okay, and then the very next day, that's when she went to go file these charges about him, basically trying to violate the baby. So basically, it seems like it's vindictive.
So once she found out about the divorce, that's when she pretty much went.
I appreciate everyone's concerns, y'all, but if you don't know, if you really don't know, I don't know what it is, but y'all, I always be getting into it with the witches of the dark. That's all I'm gonna say. The witches that be out here doing the love spells, the witches that be out here doing the hexes, the witches that be out here sending out the jinx and everything like that, y'all. And I'm still standing. So I appreciate the concerns, but I am good. Trust me, I'm good. I am good. This is crazy. But let me continue. It's almost like I'm the whistleblower or the exposer for the dark witches. I don't know. Let's continue.
For the jugular. Like she was just like, hands down, I'm going for what I know. And my uncle, he went for he was already asking her for a divorce before, but like I said, once my grandmother had came forth and told him what the baby had said about her brother touching her, my uncle went off the rails to the point where he was like, okay, I'm really done now. Like I don't want no parts of this. I want my kids and all of that. And for her to save her kids and to save everything that she had going on, she decided to try to make him look like the villain.
So when you said in the initial video when you first came out and told the story, you said he was trying to get the baby help. So he was trying to get not the baby, but he was trying to get probably the baby as well. But he was trying to get the son help because he already had a history of May being mentally challenged. But I can just equate that for you and neglecting your goddamn kids and not raising them. You feel me? So this is when did you feel like that? Like she went in that spiraling mode to try to basically protect her son, or she like what was it like? Because if you neglecting your son, are you really trying to protect them, or is it the fact that you don't? I don't know. It's mind blowing to even think.
It's right now. Right now she's in crisis mode. Like everything is backfiring on her. Everything that she thought that she was doing is coming to a.
You know what it sound like? It sound like she was out here doing spell work and it's all just coming back. It's just backfiring. That's why you don't do that type of stuff. That's why you don't do that type of stuff, especially if you don't know what the hell you doing. That's what it sound like. It just seemed like every spell she put out here is backfiring. And like I've been saying on my Patreon, the paradigm is shifting. The energy is not going to support that. The energy is not supporting this type of bullshit. If she was really out here and that's what she was out here doing, the paradigm has shifted. It's not going to support that. It's just not. So the veil is open. The veil is completely open. It's not thin. It's not, oh, it's kind of open. No, the veil is completely open. It's not going to uphold any of that deception, chaos, confusion energy. And I've seen multiple girls that be into the dark arts when it comes to witchcraft. Y'all be out here casting them spells and the shit ain't working. And the reason it's not working is because the paradigm, it has shifted. The veil is completely open. If you're seeing the fall of celebrities, baby, you don't have a chance. And they be out here doing all type of rituals, the sex rituals, sacrificing children. What makes you think that you have a chance with you being a kitchen witch? That's crazy. You don't have no chance when it comes to you being a kitchen witch, y'all. I'm sorry. Not if we seeing these celebrities fall like that.
A hope, because now her second son's dad is trying to get custody of him, because this is not the first time that he's heard about his son being touched by her older son. So all of the dads,
okay.
Oh, and then her oldest son's dad doesn't even want nothing to do with her. So she has a history.
So all of the, it seems like all of the dads are coming together trying to get their goddamn kids from this woman.
Because she doesn't really,
like they trying to get their kids. Yeah.
It's not, she's not this mother that she claims that she is.
And that's what was a red flag to me when it came to this whole thing. Like seeing the second father fight for his kids, that I had to hold up a red flag. I was like, a man fighting for his kids is just not likely, but when he does fight for his kids, it's a real reason, you know. And then having to go back and forth to court and like really, really, truly fight. Like most men don't do that, y'all. They don't want to have to do the paperwork. They don't want to have to go through the whole process of being in and out of court and all of that. So that was kind of weird. I was like, okay.
It's been plenty of times where I've known my grandmother went up there to the house just to clean the house because my uncle was overwhelmed with taking care of all the kids and trying to make sure that the house is clean, when his wife is sitting right there just laid in there, either doing her vlogs or out shopping or whatever. The reason why her credit cards was taken, or the reason why she feel like he was controlling with the money, was because he gave her a credit card and she spent up $500 off of that credit card within an hour.
So she tried to flip the story as if he was holding out on her. He was just trying to make them suffer and all this. But really, you need to be cut off because you've been taking advantage and you not being the mother or the wife that you needed to be to this man. So when this man trying to get the fucker from around you, now it's an issue. You want to get the police involved. You trying to get, you know what I'm saying? You trying to put the toughest case on him that is hard to beat, especially when you're a man, so you can gain custody of your children. But your other baby father is trying to gain custody of the child too. Now you get it.
You know, I believe that they're both toxic because they were both in and out of court for DV. But outside of the allegations, I just want to know, like, what type of marriage did they really have? That's what I want to know. Isis, she claims that it was a good marriage outside of the situation, like the allegations. And she keeps saying it was a good marriage. He was good to me. He was good to me, even though he raped me 3 or 4 times. It was a good marriage. It was a good marriage. And then I wonder what he has to say. And House of Hypocrite, he said that the husband is going to speak out eventually, just not right now with everything that's lingering and things like that. See, he moving like he want to win the case. I'm just saying, he's moving like he wants full custody of his girls. So that's interesting to me. But I want to know, like, what was that like? It seems like it was a very toxic marriage, but I wonder, you know, Isis still, she tries to paint it like it wasn't toxic, but it sounds like it was toxic. And I wonder what the husband's point of view when it comes to his marriage was like. Like, what was that like for him? Because it doesn't seem like we're going to get the truth about their marriage from her outside of the accusation that she made against
him. Man, everybody, see, when somebody doing wrong, put that shit out in the forefront. Put it out in the forefront. I'm trying to get in contact with the other baby daddy as well. And you know, the uncle, he probably never want to speak on this until he have custody of his kids. But if he ever
he said that he don't want to. interrupt anything that he got going on in the legal system right now. Like, he really wants to get on here and tell his side of the story, because
do y'all really think this is hypergamy? Y'all, I'm sorry. I don't think this is hypergamy. This is something else. This is hypergamy to y'all? I don't know. This is not hypergamy to me. Let me know if you think this is hypergamy. I don't think this is hypergamy. Why y'all trying to put this on the hypergamy crew? This is giving, oh, I'm glad somebody said this is giving some hood booger stuff. Like, it's giving some low vibrational stuff. I don't know. Hypergamy to me is high vibrational. It's not this. So I don't know what this is. This ain't it.
Now that he knows from us sending him all of the information that's been out there, so that he can be aware, like, he is burning him up in the inside to know that she's out there making him look this bad. And people are really out there, like, really sending death threats and all of this stuff. So, and some of the vloggers or some of the people have actually found his information and tried to reach out. So she's really destroying this man's life just because of the fact that you won't be the woman that you need to be and get out there and do your own stuff and not try to piggyback off of every man that you get. That's like, it's crazy to me. So yeah, she has mental issues. Her son is definitely record that he has some mental issues. So it's like, I wish them the best and I want them to get the help that they need, but I just want her to come clean and finally say, like, this did not happen, because you're ruining a person's life for no reason, just for your own, for what you think. She's too far in.
She's too far gone. She can't come out and say that. She can't come out and say that, hey, this was all a lie. I did this for what? Like, you did this for full cousin.
Listen, I know a lot of people like to focus hypergamy on, tax brackets and things like that. But I've already explained this before, and I'll explain it again. Hypergamy is dating up a class. So if you come from low income, right, you can go up to middle class, say low middle class, and that's hypergamy. Okay, like, that's hypergamy. If you were born into say middle class and you date up and you date, or you marry up and you marry like high middle class, that's still hypergamy. If you're high middle class and then you date up and you date wealthy, that's hypergamy too. Like, there's levels to it. So, and I'm sorry, I keep saying date, but I mean marry. Like, if you marry, it just depends on what you were born into, and you just have to make sure you do either as good as your parents or better. And I've made that known. And you should. It doesn't matter who I'm talking to, whether it's really a male or a female. If you marry, you should be marrying as good as your parents or better. And if you come from low income, poverty line, you should want to. Like, you really should. Now, what you're choosing to aim for, that's your choice. Most women like online. I have to say online, because there's a difference. Online, most women want to focus on the rich and the wealthy, but you could still do really good if you're coming from low income to poverty line. Like, you're still doing really well if you marry into middle class. I just feel like you should always want to do either as good or better than your parents, because they made those sacrifices. And if you're really trying to improve your family, your bloodline, and everything based off of the sacrifices that your family have made, you should want to marry up. That's what you should want to do. You should want to marry up. You shouldn't want to just keep being where you're at. You should want to improve your family, and you could do that based off of marriage. That to me is what hypergamy is. This is, I don't know what this is, and I hate that people are wanting to label this hypergamy. This is ghetto, y'all. It's ghetto.
Like, what are you doing this for? You understand?
Right.
Like, I don't understand. And people can see through it, man. I'm not. If I seen any English of your uncle being what she's saying, I would be making this video about your goddamn uncle. But none of this shit adds up. It don't add up. When I looked at the documentation, I'm like, well, he tried to file out and get 3 charges. Competed. It's like he went to do 3 different counties or some shit. Drove to 3 different spots. It seemed like he went to 3 different counties and went to 3 different spots to try to get this DV on this woman. Then the next day, she was able effortlessly to get charges on him or a protective order on him that they canceled. But she's still going around saying like he's on a protective order. No, he can see his kids.
Right.
You just not allowing him to see his kids. Like he's trying to
Right.
be a
That's
father.
crazy.
He gonna get full custody of them kids. And for anybody that might say why he ain't came up and speak up, he's not internet savvy. He's not the tech savvy. He's every man don't got a guy. He fighting it through court. When he get his fucking kids, and then he can speak his truth and tell his goddamn story. But it's so easy to
Yes.
believe a pretty woman. She a pretty woman. It's easy to believe a pretty woman
she
that know how to
is.
fucking cry on camera.
Right, because when I seen her the first time, I was like, she kind of looked like a little Cardi B, remix
Yeah.
type thing. But I'm like,
She did.
hey, I don't like, and I didn't want to come on so hard when I did come on, but I was furious because of the fact that she was out there just spewing all of these lies, and then watching the people sit over here and attack somebody that's very close to me and is almost like a second dad in my life. Like I would never want to be just sit back and let that happen, especially when I know I got free range to get on here and
Listen, y'all may not like it, but y'all, it's the truth. It's the truth. It's the truth. Pretty women get away with a lot. I've gone through a glow up. I know what I could get away with, and I know what I could not get away with before. That's a fact. That is a fact. That is a fact. When it comes to pretty privilege, it has its cons, but it also has the pros. And one of the pros is like you can get away with a lot of shit when you're pretty. You really can. You can be dumb. You can be dumb as hell. I'm just being honest. You could be dumb as rocks, y'all. I swear, you could be dumb as rocks. You don't have to have any personality at all. You don't have to really say too much of anything. Like all you got to do is be pretty. That's it. That's all you got to do is be pretty, shut up, don't say much, and keep your mouth shut. Like that's just what it is. People don't care. And I already talked about this. That's just me being honest. Half of the shit that I'm able to get away with now, girl, I was not able to get away with that shit before. I'm just being honest. You can get away with so much. I'm just being honest. So, it's just the truth. You can easily manipulate people with beauty. It's just the truth.
say how I feel, just like everybody else do.
Is anything else do you want to say before we wrap it up? I know you might have some things to do. I know you be busy and booked. I ain't gonna put out no location, but find her and do her thing when all this blow over, y'all can go get right by her. We're gonna make sure y'all get contacts and
come see
everything.
me for Share Creations for sure. No, I pretty much wanted to come back on here a little bit more humble than I did last time. Okay. Because a lot of people were saying that I was very snappy and all of that other stuff, but I'm not trying to just come on here and just spit stuff for my health. I'm not trying to come on here and just tell lies for no reason. That's not me. That's not my character. And anybody that knows me knows that that is not something that I do. However, I am a person that rides for my family no matter what. I am a person that sticks up for any kids, whether it's mine or a relative or whatever. I do not want anybody out there thinking that these kids are being harmed by someone who really loves them and he really adores his kids. He's been there since day one, and it's killing him right now, the fact that y'all think that he would do anything malicious like this to his own children. That's not the kind of guy he is. So I just wanted to just bring awareness to everybody, like letting them in a little bit more on the situation. If Isis was the woman that I felt like she should be, then I would never have to report on her. But any woman that comes on here to exploit your kids for money or for likes and views and all
That's
of that
right.
is not a woman that I want to be around, or I would even trust around any kids, honestly. And a woman that doesn't stand on her own is not a woman that I feel like
Ooh.
I can follow. So just be mindful, everyone.
Man, appreciate you for tapping in with me, man. We're gonna get this out. We're gonna
She said, I can't respect a woman that can't stand on her own to follow. That is facts, y'all. You should not be out here following women that cannot stand on their own. That's just facts. I'm sorry. You following a sheep. Like you following the wrong person. Okay, that's just facts. Okay. So I'm gonna bring up the house immigrant. I don't know what he wants to talk about. Let's just see what he has to say.
Hey, what's up with you? Hey, appreciate you for reviewing the video. And I was coming up to say, man, the niece in the family, man, they appreciate people taking the efforts to even tap into to looking into it, because just within my situation, when it was just so easy to believe the negative things about a man, especially a black man. Even though my shit was a skit, I don't have any kids, y'all. I'm just sorry to tell y'all. I'm really
Wait. The first thing you said, you were biased. Can you explain why you were biased?
Oh, I'm biased because when the niece had initially came out and spoke, I went to go fact check the things that she was saying through documentation. So what I did was I did a comparison video from what the niece was saying and for what the trophy wife was saying, and also with the documentation. So I'm just putting together and piecing shit together, and I'm like, okay, I'm very biased because what the niece saying adds up and looks like the truth. You feel me? And then it's a lot of things that the new trophy wife is doing. Like one thing about the production, you set your camera up, you getting glammed up, you know what I'm saying? You just to tell this heartfelt story, and then whiles later you go pin your goddamn GoFundMe in the top of your comments of your video. You know what I'm saying? And the fact that when I'm seeing the protective order and all these things, saying that she was kicked out, he cut off the credit cards, he did all this, but the protective order said he can't do none of that. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
it's a lot of lies that she's been telling, and she be in the chat speaking in third person and shit with different accounts. Like something really wrong with it, dog. And hearing the husband speak, the dude is devastated, dog.
Oh,
Nigga,
really?
devastated, man. Heartbreaking. Some shit that feel like I'm sorry. Some stuff that feel like it can take somebody out. Man, devastated. And then he got to fight for his innocence. You feel me? So take it with a grain of salt, man. Y'all can believe whoever y'all want to believe, but I'm biased on this situation, especially speaking with a woman that he helped raise, and they don't see no characteristics in that man like that. It's so easy to want to believe a man can be so violent and you know what I'm saying, desperate and just harmful to a child and a woman. That's the narrative, and that's the state that we live in. So you got niggas like me trying to at least protect our image for a little bit, because I already know how I came on this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? But it's just like it was so easy for somebody to believe my story, and I know my story fake. You feel me? So when I'm looking at it, you got to have a little bit of skepticism when you hearing things on the internet. Don't believe everything you hear on the internet. And then I know it starts to pull at our heartstrings because we done had certain situations that happened to us
That's
when we
fair.
were children. You know what I'm saying? We had these things happen to us when we was children and adults, and it's trauma. So we bond with it, and we want to be there and feel the sympathy and empathy for these people. But and then we ignore the real signs of that bitch might
Yeah,
be lying.
that's exactly what happened. I said earlier that when I saw the video the first time, I was so emotionally driven that I didn't see the red flags because I
Yeah.
was emotionally driven by the context of what was being said or stated in that video. But then when I went back and I rewatched and I started to see obvious red flags, that's when I was like, wait a minute. But sometimes our emotions can drive us, and we are blind to the obvious red flags, especially when it comes to things that we may have personally
Exactly.
experienced ourselves. But I do want to ask you this: when do you think the uncle is actually going to speak out and tell his side of the story? Because I know, based off of, like you said, you did your research, it seems like this is going to be a fight for him if what you're saying is true. If what
Mhm.
the news is saying is true, it seems like it's going to be a battle.
Man, that man, he burning to speak now. Like
Oh, really?
he burning up to speak now. Like, cause like And I think the thing about it that if the internet didn't be the internet and start to go find out who he was and all that, because at first she was just saying husband, she wasn't showing no pictures, she wasn't, you know what I'm saying? Then the internet is like, damn, now I have to, you know what I'm saying? I feel like I have to come defend myself, but
Mhm.
she didn't take the guidance of her lawyer, which left her, which was which was the truth. Her lawyer left her. You feel me? And this was connected to the women's center of where you can go get a free lawyer if a woman and children have been abused. That type of lawyer left her. You feel me on
Oh,
her case initially, but nah, he say he gonna speak once everything blow over and his innocence and everything is proven. He gonna come on in there and speak. You feel me? So
okay.
I don't know a time limit. I've been trying to follow the cases and try to get updates. If they have some type of trial, shit, I might go tap in there and be in it. I might fly out there and go to trial. You feel me? If it's open to the public, just to, you know what I'm saying, follow it. You know, it's a new leaf. I'm trying to be investigative journalism in the bitch. You feel me? You
I'm done.
feel me? But nah, that's all I had to say, man. It was it's a great analysis, and people in the comments, as I say, hey, just be skeptical, because it took me 5 days to actually respond to this. I seen it when it first came out, so it took me some time before I just go accuse a woman of her trauma, because it's so many times that victims don't be believed because
That's
we skeptical. I'm skeptical. I'm always not believe you first, but I'm gonna give you a chance. It's 50-50 with me. So it's a lot of victims that might have a story and they want to come speak out against their family. You feel me? Against a co-worker, somebody that is above them, that has some type of seniority, and sometimes it do be hard. I didn't understand that until I start, you know what I'm saying, having a little bit more empathy for situations. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I'm gonna follow it. I appreciate you reviewing it, because I've been reviewing a lot of stuff, man. Y'all can check me out as House of Hypocrite. If they're a hypocrite on the internet like I was, it's gonna be Sean. You feel me?
now this my last question. What do you have to say for Isis in the chat? Because you've informed me that she is in the chat. Is there anything that you want to say to her directly?
Your ass gonna, hey, if it's anything I can do to help put your bitch ass in jail, if this nigga's goddamn is innocent 100%, I'm gonna do it, because it's so many times that we get accused and there's no recourse or repercussions towards the false allegations on some of these women. So shit, whatever we can do to put your bitch ass behind bars and all
Did,
your kids.
did the uncle
That's no
say
problem.
that he was after he settles this whole divorce and custody battle and things like that? Did he say anything about suing her?
I mean, I didn't get into like just the details, and bringing it up just made a nigga just not even want to, you know what I'm saying, just trying to engage in it too much. But it's the things that Denise was saying was basically like okay, and like basically being that vessel for him for the internet, so he won't necessarily be put in a position where, you know what I'm saying, he's saying it so she can be saying it for her perspective. You feel me? So I'm gonna try to get that interview. If I don't get it, somebody need it. You know what I'm saying? Especially with something like this. So
Well,
hopefully,
if you do get the interview, please ask him if he plans to move forward with suing her, because this looks bad on
yeah, most
his image.
definitely.
It looks bad on his family. It just all around just looks bad. So if she is lying, like, that's a question I hope that you ask.
Yeah, I'm gonna have like 100 questions, and I'm gonna ask a bunch of creators that, like yourself, like anybody else that didn't cover it. I'm gonna like, hey, I got this interview. Hey, what should I ask? So this is my first quote unquote interview. Really was like a conversation. It's a lot of questions that I missed. I probably over talked her and shit like that. It's my first time. I get better in time. You know what I'm saying? Like wine. So
Okay. And then
yeah.
also the other question too is, ask when the uncle does speak, and if you do get the interview, can you
Mhm.
ask him about the son, like the older son? Did you watch the
Mhm.
Hartley initiated interview? And when they have these bracelets that they promote on their platform, and it's
Okay.
called Fight the Flesh. And I
Mhm.
thought it was interesting that in that interview, she said that she needs that for her son. She needs that for her son. She kept saying that she needs it for her son. This is a woman with 5 kids. And I'm just like, why not
What is the fight
say
the flesh thing?
it's a bracelet? Like, it's a bracelet. It's just what they
What
promote on their
what
platform.
it symbolized though? What like what does it
Like,
mean?
fight
What it
the flesh,
represent?
like, it's supposed to be like spiritual. It's supposed to help people who struggle with maybe like addictions or like hard
She
times and
needed
things
for a
like that.
10-year-old son.
That's exact. Go back and watch the interview.
No, you know what I want to point out? When she said, if my kids have to be the sacrificial lamb, so be it. Did you catch that?
Yeah, I caught that too. That was weird too.
Yeah, that's crazy. And if she needed for her son, I think he had trouble because I think she did tell a story about the previous boyfriend, whoever wanted the son to go stay with a relative because he was acting
Yeah.
out. I want to put something out there. If she actually been abused as a child, what is stopping us to thinking she abused her own children?
Yeah, I never considered that either.
You feel me? Like
Yeah.
you said you was with your children 90 to 100% of the time. Well, what is stopping her for projecting that trauma on her own children?
Mm, yeah.
That's a question. So hey, when I say I look at stuff, I look at it all around. We just ain't gonna put it on. Is it a possibility that the husband done some shit? Absolutely, but based off
Yeah.
how her the documentations is on and how her behavior is, even online, she probably still in the chat now. You feel me? Acting like she not her, but bitch, I know this you. I confirmed it. I sent you a link. You clicked on it. And I seen your address. Know where you at. All that. Yeah. I'm in school for cybersecurity. I'm about to have my shit. I do this. You know what I'm saying? So let's get it. But
Y'all, he gave me all of her usernames, literally. So so she definitely is in the chat. That's all I'm gonna say. But thank you for coming up here and
appreciate
chatting
you.
with me, clearing up, any misunderstandings. And I'll look forward to that interview if you get it.
That's a bit. Hey, y'all show some love to the goddamn Cash App because I try to super chat and shit. It didn't work for me. So show some love to her Cash App, dog, man. Appreciate you.
Thank you. Have a nice one.
You too.
All right. So I don't know, y'all. This could go, honestly, this situation could really go either way. I just feel like we just gonna have to sit back and watch. And I know it's frustrating because I'm a consumer of social media just like y'all, and I have my own trauma, and it's annoying when people come online and they pull on our heartstrings and they get us emotionally invested into their story just for money, like just to get a bag. Like that's annoying. So I guess we're just gonna have to wait and see. Like I said, my issue with the niece is just tell the story. Don't try to paint your uncle to be something, and we don't know him. We only know what is out here, and what's out here is that he did have an online profile, dating profile, where he was trying to get at much younger women, which is weird. And it's just, we don't know him. So you know him, we don't, and that's just a fact. But that's the only part that I just did not like. So I guess we just gonna have to wait and see. Like I said, the truth is going to come out eventually, because time, if she is lying, time is not on her side. That's all I'm gonna say. Time is not on her side, and that is just the truth. So I'm going to go ahead and end this live. Thank you for tuning in. Please give the video a thumbs up, and I guess we'll just see how all of this unfolds. If the uncle eventually he speaks out, I will be reacting to his side of the story as well. And then I'm still going to be looking online to see what's going on behind the scenes, because I feel like that's more important. It's not really based off of what people are telling us, because it's he say, she say, but I'm going to look at the documents online to see what's going on, y'all. So that's all that I have regarding this video. Thank you for tuning in, and I hope to see you in my next one.